My heart was captured, sin held me captive. Now 'cause of you, God, I'm set free. I feel like dancing, I can't help moving. I got this crazy joy creeping up in me. Whoa, let's wake the city up. Whoa, when the crowds go home and the hype dies down, we will sing 'cause we're unashamed. Just like Paul and Silas, when I stay quiet, whenever we praise, we sing with voices of freedom. We sing with voices of freedom. We sing with voices of freedom. You give me purpose, you keep your promise. I hear your spirit call to me to be the difference, to live for Jesus, to shine a light now for all to see. Whoa, let's wake the city up. Whoa, when the crowds go home and the hype dies down, we will sing 'cause we're unashamed. Just like Paul and Silas, when I stay quiet, whenever we praise, we sing with voices of freedom. We sing with voices of freedom. We sing with voices of freedom. Whatever the calling, whatever the moment, we'll sing. Whatever the calling, whatever the moment, we'll sing with voices of freedom. When the crowds go home and the hype dies down, we will sing 'cause we're unashamed. Just like Paul and Silas, when I'm staying quiet, whenever we praise, we sing with voices of freedom. When the crowds go home and the hype dies down, we will sing 'cause we're unashamed. Just like Paul and Silas, when I'm staying quiet, whenever we praise, we sing with voices of freedom. We sing with voices of freedom. We sing with voices of freedom. We sing with voices of freedom.
Hi everyone, welcome back to our Tag Kids studio. This is our last week in our series on kindness, showing others they are valuable by the way you treat them. So in our final week on kindness, we're going to be looking at how being kind can change your world.
And now, for some remarkable words of wisdom from the book of Luke, chapter 2, verse 52.
Sheila Fitzgerald knew that it was her purpose in life to change the world. After all, it's what all of her college professors had told her. Go out and change the world. But now that she had graduated, Sheila wasn't sure where to start. It had come so easy for everyone else. Her neighbor Bruce had started a community garden down the block, and the kids flocked to him all summer long, growing healthy and strong, tending to their little plot of land.
Give those peas enough water and squish that potato bug.
Sheila studied him. frowning. That seems like a lot of work. You have to get muddy. Sure it is, but it's worth it. I learned so much from watching these kids. When they choose to be responsible, look what happens. Bruce poked a flourishing tomato plant heavy with red fruit. But when one of them chooses to play video games instead of pulling weeds, like this patch, well, Bruce prodded a patch of yellowing dead cucumber vines. It's all dead. Nothing's growing. Sheila wrinkled her nose and hurried away. She did not like to get dirty. She would rather change the world like her high school classmate Bree, who was now a concert cellist. She played beautiful music, and anyone who heard her music became so thoughtful and peaceful. Hey, I bet I could do that. Bree winced as Sheila lunged for the bow. You know, it takes a lot of practice to sound good. Why don't we just go out for coffee and talk, catch up on what's happened the last few years? Sorry, no time. I'm busy. But once she was back in her car, Sheila wasn't sure where to go next. Couldn't someone write a manual for how to change the world? And that's when Aunt Letitia called. Aunt Letty always seemed to be busy doing things to change the world.
Hello, dear. Could you spare an hour or two? I need another pair of hands.
I suppose so. Aunt Letitia opened the door, her white, wiry hair sticking out in short spikes, and she grinned as she gestured to the stacks of shipping boxes stacked all around the room. What's all that? Oh, just a few things I brought back from Kenya. Isn't it kind of hot there? Like an oven, but I had such a wonderful time. What on earth were you doing? I was sharing with some families about Jesus, and they showed me all the amazing work they do. See? Aunt Letty pulled a piece of packing paper off of this beautiful wooden giraffe. Whoa! They carve all sorts of animals and make beautiful jewelry. And here, try one of these. She pulled out a strange-looking drum, and Sheila frowned at it. It's a djembe. I brought all this back to sell for a good price here, so they can have enough money to feed their families. Sheila stared at the towering boxes. This could take all afternoon. That's great, but I'm kind of busy. Doing what? Oh, just changing the world. Aunt Letty surveyed Sheila with her keen green eyes for a long moment. How do you propose to do that? Well, I need a manual first. Maybe I should check WikiHow. Sheila pulled out her phone. www.wi. What about changing yourself first? Well, I dyed my hair a new shade of copper last week, and I started wearing boots, and I meant change inside, the kind of work that God does to grow you. Seems like a waste of time when I could be doing big things. What happens inside of you is the start of every big thing that happens on the outside. Even Jesus lived it out that way. But he was like some super guy. He walked on water, and he fed people, and he got a Bible app. If you want a manual for changing the world, click over to Luke 2:52. 2:52. Oh. Jesus became wiser and stronger. He also became more and more pleasing to God and to people. Sheila thumped the djembe absent-mindedly. So, let me get this straight. Jesus actually grew all those ways? Sure thing. He grew in wisdom and faith and friendship. Oh. Work those things out, and you won't have to worry about the rest. Sheila released a long breath. She didn't have to go around guessing on how to change the world. She knew exactly where to start. So, the next morning, she popped up super early. Hey, God, I want to change on the inside. So please, get to work on me. Help me listen to you better. And then she pulled on her oldest pair of jeans and headed straight to the garden to study all those kids making wise choices. Sheila, what brings you back? I'm here to help. Really? Sure, my choice. I like to see things grow. That afternoon, Sheila went to Bree's rehearsal. She had known Bree for 10 years, but she had never taken the time to get to know her. Bree, would you like to come over for dinner? I've got all these fresh vegetables to cook up. Oh, I know just what to do with Brussels sprouts. So Sheila stopped focusing on the grand deeds and began focusing on the little things. And as she did, she grew in wisdom and faith and friendship.
Being kind can change your world. In this week's Table Talk, download the attachment and as a family discuss the following question. How can you, as a family, support our missionaries and others living overseas? Maybe you could write to one of our missionaries. You could certainly be praying for them, supporting them financially, or as a family, you might like to sponsor a child who's doing it tough in another country. This week, we're going to focus on an organisation called Power to Change. We have some missions workers with this organisation who are currently working in universities with the young people who attend there. So I hope that you've enjoyed this missions focus through Table Talk this month, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us today at Tag Kids. And don't forget, if you have any prayer requests, practical needs, or anything, just let us know. And we look forward to catching up with you guys next week.